Okay, so we are about to get started, guys. So make sure you are glued to the screen because we have some amazing things for you to see. So remember our norms. I hear somebody's camera, so make sure, volume. So make sure you are on mute. Make sure you guys ask questions about things you're curious about. Leave comments in the chat. And then lastly, stay engaged because we are taking you guys live behind the scenes. All right, let's get started. First stop is Fogo de Chao, and we are going to be joined by Shamara. She's on our work-based learning team. Shamara, take it away.
Good morning. Thank you, Carla, for that wonderful introduction. Good morning, students. Welcome to our Hospitality and Tourism Career Ready Friday special edition. Thursday here. Today, I'm at Fogo de Chao. I have sales manager Allison Bruce with me, who's going to share. So let me turn my camera around and we will get started. So this is Allison.
Good morning.
Allison, introduce yourself and tell us what you do here at Fogo de Chao restaurant.
So my name is Allison Bruce. I'm the sales manager here at Fogo de Chao Brazilian Steakhouse in Baltimore. And what I do is I help plan and manage all of the group dining in the restaurant and all of our private events. I help do all of our marketing in the store and outside of the restaurant. And I also help facilitate anything that the local and what we can do to help the people in our neighborhood and be part of the community.
Thank you. So Allison, you're going to take us on a tour. Fogo de, how do you pronounce it again? I heard you say it differently than me.
Fogo de Chao is it's Portuguese and it means fire on the ground.
Oh, Fogo de Chao is one of my favorite places to eat, friends. So we're going to take a nice tour here. Allison, you can navigate and we'll get started.
Fantastic. Come on back. We're going to start with the grill.
We're going to the grill, friends. So they're not open yet. They don't open until 11 a.m. So we're going to get a behind the scenes look at what a restaurant looks like before they even open. So they're just getting started.
So here at Fogo, we butcher all of our meats in-house, and then we grill them to order, and we carve and serve them table side. So our restaurant's a little bit different. We serve traditional Brazilian churrascaria. So let's take a look here. So in the butcher shop, there's nobody in here yet, but they're prepping everything. They're pulled out all the meat that they're going to prep for today. And then they pulled out all of the meat that's up here. It needs to rest.
What do you mean by rest?
So it needs to be unpackaged and it needs to rest. And after it rests, that's when they're able to skewer it.
Can you explain what skewering is?
So yes, so let's come on out here.
It was cold in there, friends. Allison, the meat is supposed to be a certain temperature?
Yep, so we have to keep the room refrigerated. And if you notice back in that room where the butcher shop is, that attaches to our meat cooler. So all of meat stays back there in its own cooler, so we don't ever have to worry about cross-contamination because we have a different cooler for all of our fruits and vegetables.
Got it. It was chilly that quick.
So the skewering is, we use these skewers to skewer all of the different cuts of meat. So we serve 16 different cuts of chicken, lamb, steak, and pork at a time. And they skewer them onto these skewers, and then all these grills get fired up, and they literally just hook them in here like that, so that it naturally rotates around, and the outside gets cooked to different temperatures, and that's how they're able to carve table side to different temperatures. So Shamara, how do you like your steak?
I like my steak medium well.
So I like my steak medium rare. So if they come to our table, they can cut from a certain part, and they can cut for medium rare for me and medium well for you at the same time.
We love it. Friends, do you have any questions so far from Miss Allison here? There any questions about the grill, the freezer, or
The butcher shop.
the butcher shop? No, not yet. Not yet. They said
Okay.
no. Okay.
So we're gonna go around to the other side because we have two kitchens.
There's two kitchens. And this is the restaurant. We're going to the other kitchen. I wish the restaurant was open already. I haven't had breakfast yet.
Before we get back to the other kitchen, this is our server station. So this is where the servers come back and they get all of their beverages, the espresso machine, coffee machine, and then they get all their drinks that come from the bar
So
here.
this is the serving kitchen.
But we also have a back bar, so the servers are able to pour their own wine by the glass. On very busy days, we'll have somebody back here making caipirinhas. And then all of our desserts come out of this station over here.
So the desserts are here, friends. Look. Allison, what are these wood planks?
So these blocks they use when they set up the market table. So when they make the charcuterie,
Okay.
they put them out on these blocks here.
Oh,
The different cuts of prosciutto, salami, imported cheeses, all of these items
some
right here.
produce. So this is going to go out onto the market table, some fresh produce here.
Everything it goes out on the market table fresh. We cut all of our fruit, our papaya, our pineapple, the kiwi. We actually physically cut it all on the market table itself because everything comes fresh at its freshest.
So who does the cutting?
We have a market table attendant, and
Okay.
they go ahead and they cut things. But you know what? I have at times jumped in and cut a papaya or two.
You hear that, friends? Teamwork makes the dream work. Oh, morning.
Yes. So this is our prep kitchen, and as you can see, all of our lovely prep cooks are busy working because they have to prepare all of the food that goes out on our market table, and they prepare all of our side dishes. And as I'm sure if anybody has come to this restaurant, they know the fan favorite the cheese bread, right?
It's delicious. I love it.
Everybody loves the cheese bread. But this is we call our back. We don't call our back of the house. We call it a part of the house because this is truly the heart of Fogo because we pride ourselves so much on our faith.
Okay.
And the food that these are the people that really make it happen.
So someone asked, do you have green apples?
We sure do.
They do, friend who asked that question. We're going to let these folks get ready to prepare for the 11 o'clock opening this morning. They're taking the food out. There's the green apples for the friend who asked. And we're going to keep moving. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay.
I just love seeing the produce. It's so pretty and colorful, which means it's good for you.
Rainbow every day.
We have to eat the rainbow every day. You hear that, friends?
No.
Yes.
So that's pretty much all our heart of the house. And if anybody has any questions or Shamir, if there's something else you'd like to talk about, I'm happy to.
So Allison, we'd like to know how you got into the hospitality and tourism industry.
Okay, great. So I went to Virginia Tech for college, and I had no idea what I wanted to do, is the truth. And I changed my majors probably about 5 times. But I always loved working in restaurants. In fact, when I was in high school, I couldn't wait until I was old enough to become a server. So I was really, interested in that. And I started working at the on-campus hotel. And a lot of the people who worked there also were in the hospitality and tourism management program. So I decided to major in that. And I absolutely loved it so much that I started working in the back of the house and in the kitchen. And I enjoyed that so much that I decided to extend my education from a bachelor's degree and go to culinary school and get my applied sciences and culinary arts degree at Johnson & Wales University in Charleston, South Carolina. So I went there and I learned the culinary arts, and that was fantastic. And then I went back into restaurants in a manager capacity. So that was really the beginning.
So can you tell us about some of the other roles and people that work here, the servers, or the different things that they have to do outside of the kitchen? I see this gentleman here is setting up the market table where all that fresh, colorful fruit and veggies will go later today for opening.
Yes. So keeping everything fresh is, top
This is
priority
good.
for us. So what he is doing right now is he's breaking the market table down and he's cleaning it out to make sure that that the drainage works properly, because he's going to restock with fresh ice, so that when we put all the produce and the salads onto the market table, that they're all staying at the proper temperature and keeping everything really fresh. So keeping everything very clean.
Roblox movie.
And fresh is very important. It's a process, and you have to make sure that you're following your standards and that you have guidelines and that you're following them so that everything goes according to plan. But we have people that work in all different capacities in the restaurant. And the thing that is fantastic about FOGO is we have a lot of people who start off from the very beginning and they grow. We say we grow with FOGO, and I like to say that all my kids have grown up here. So we've had plenty of staff that's come to us, started off in high school as a host or a busser, that are now managers with our team. So we have, in fact, I'm very, very, very proud of one of our newest Gauchos, the young lady that you met when you came in for lunch. That day, she set up the market table. She was a busser on the floor, and she was trained to be a Gaucho. And I am proud to tell you, Shamira, that she got her pants. Nice. And now she's an official Gaucho chef and is working on the floor as a Gaucho. And
can you tell our friends what a Gaucho is?
So a Gaucho and a Gaucha are literally, it translates into cowboy chefs.
Wow.
So at our restaurant, like we mentioned before, they when they grill the meat and then they come and they carve it table side. So if you look at the table here, there's a little medallion, and on one side it's red and on the other side it's green. So when you're on green, then they'll come and they'll present whatever different cut that you have to you and ask you if you'd like it, ask you what temperature you'd like it at, and they go ahead and carve that for you. So there is a very specific skill set you need to have in order to be a Gaucho, because you need to be able to butcher all the meats in the butcher shop. You need to be able to skewer all those meats, and you need to be able to properly carve it. And not only do you need to be able to properly carve it, but you need to be able to tell what part of the cut you need to carve to hit the right temperature for the right person. So, you have to have a very high skill level if you're going to come and carve to our table and give you that medium well and give me that medium rare at the same time.
That was so informative, Allison. Thank you so much for letting us in and taking a peek at this fine restaurant and establishment. It was amazing. I'm so upset that it is not open just yet, but that's okay. I'll be back. Friends, I hope you all can make it. Does anyone have any more questions for Miss Allison before we let her get back to her busy day?
Miss Allison, can you tell us how to say the name correctly one more time?
It's a Fogo de Chão Brazilian steakhouse.
Fogo de Chão. I have learned something new. And we have a hand up.
We have a hand.
All right, Miss.
Is that an accident?
Azia, is that how you say your name? Do you want to come off mute and ask your question? Okay.
Uh,
Go ahead, sweetie.
I would like to ask, What kind of foods do you cook?
One of our little friends wants to know, what kind of foods do you cook?
What kind of food do I personally cook? Or
Or the restaurant?
At
I
the
personally cook
restaurant.
everything. I'll answer both. I personally cook everything. I love to cook. And at him, I love to try all different kinds of cuisine. When I'm not at the restaurant, I personally try to do seafood since I eat a lot of 60 different carved meats here at the restaurant. But here at the restaurant, we're a Brazilian steakhouse. So in southern Brazil, what they do is, this is indicative to how the community comes together and eats, because all of the ladies make all of the salads and the fresh vegetables, and they bring them. The community comes together and eats as a community, and all of the men take the meat and they cook it on from fire on the ground, and how our style. And everybody comes together and eats like that. So that's how we serve our food here at the restaurant. And we have a lot of fresh vegetables and a lot of different kinds of food.
All right.
But we also have seafood.
Thank you, Miss Allison. Miss Kyla, I'm gonna hand it back to you. I know we have a few more questions. We're gonna put them in the chat and we'll get them to Miss Allison.
Awesome. So guys, the ones that have your hands up, if you could do me a favor and ask your teacher to help you put your question in the chat, and then when we wrap back around, we'll ask those questions for Miss Allison. So take 1 second and type your question in the chat. And as you're doing that, we're going to turn it over to Barbara. She is at Visit Baltimore, and we're going to see what's happening around the city. Take it away, Barbara.
Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to see your faces. And we've been watching your questions. We're so glad that you're here with us today. I am here with Mia Blom. She's right here with me. I'm in her office, so you can look out over Baltimore City. So we're in the heart of the city, and she is part of Visit Baltimore, and we're excited to be here with her today. She is going to tell us what Visit Baltimore does. She's going to take us on a tour, and then we're going to have a conversation about how she got here. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll go from there.
Good morning, everybody.
Okay, now
Good morning. Good to see everybody this morning. So Visit Baltimore is the official marketing organization for the city of Baltimore. Right here on my desk, I have a couple of our visitor guides. These are guides that we would love to send to your school if you want some, or if you want it for us to send it to someone special, so that they can know that our city is an absolutely amazing city to visit and to live in. That's what we do. We talk about how great the city is. But I'm going to show you a little bit around our office. How's that sound?
sounds good to me.
Perfect.
All right, let's go.
All right. So we have the entire 10th floor here at Visit Baltimore. We're located at 400 East Pratt Street, and our office consists of people that do marketing and sales for the city of Baltimore. So we actually have people that go out and they convince people to come here and hold their meetings and their conventions and their large festivals here in your city. So this is our Graffiti Alley. We have a fun time here. This is where we do some of our photo shoots for some of our products. It's also a pop-up meeting space. So it's called Graffiti Alley because it looks a lot like Graffiti Alley that's over by Motor House. And it was actually done by one of our local graffiti artists here in Baltimore. So we're really excited about this space here. It's fun, and it allows us to have some cool meetings where we can kind of pop on and do some of our tech and continue to stay in touch with everybody.
Officially labeled Graffiti Alley. I love it.
Then as we walk around, you might notice that some of the benches here look very familiar.
Yay, my favorite benches.
With the greatest city in America, because we believe that it is.
It is. That's awesome.
Everything that we have here comes from either artists in Baltimore, people who are creative in Baltimore. So a lot of great fun. Let me just show you one quick picture. This came from Highland Town Elementary Middle School. It's our favorite picture of Thurgood Marshall, one of our famous Baltimoreans.
Check it out. So this is from which middle school?
Highlandtown Elementary Middle.
Shout out to Highlandtown Elementary Middle. I don't know if they're on here today, but if they're not, we should definitely let them know that they got featured.
Yeah, so lots
beautiful.
of fun things. And then let me just show you our quick office, our meeting space. We have some fun meeting space here. This is what we call our Inner Harbor North room.
Ooh, I feel like all of a sudden it's nighttime. Beautiful landscape.
So we have board meetings here. We have other functions here with small businesses are members of Visit Baltimore. And then those are the things that we actually feature in our visitor guide so that when people are considering coming here to stay, coming here to eat at restaurants, coming to support small businesses, they can find them in our visitor guide. And so we have many partners that we work with around the city to ensure that they are in that guide, that they have the marketing tools that they need to help with their business.
A lot of comments about how it looks nice and the office looks really nice.
Oh, it's so much fun. Let me come see one of my favorite views of the city. Two favorite views. One is our neighborhood wall. It's just right ahead. You'll see that we have on this wall many of our city neighborhoods listed.
Oh my gosh, Forest Park, shout out. Oh my goodness. Where's Canton? I want to find it.
And so you might come here and find that your neighborhood is listed on our wall here.
I love it. And it keeps
a
going.
little plant wall. And then of course it does keep on
It keeps going because we're a city of neighborhoods. So maybe you guys can see the neighborhood that you live in. If you've got a neighborhood you want to shout out, just put it out in the chat. It doesn't have to be on the wall. We're still happy to shout out your neighborhood.
Absolutely. I want to show you my second favorite thing, which is the view of our great city from our patio.
Yeah.
Out here.
Wow. This is where I would take all my meetings.
Isn't
Yeah.
it fun? Like,
It's
a really
so
fun
wonderful.
place. So I can actually look down the street and see Miss Allison's restaurant. Just on the next block. I can see all the way over to Butcher's Hill there. And if I turn in the other direction, I can see all the way over to West Baltimore and beyond. The Hilton. And then if you turn just a little bit to the corner, you can see the stadium.
You guys see that? You see M&T? Can I zoom in? I can. There's the stadium right there.
And then the aquarium right in front of us.
And there's the aquarium. All the sights of the Inner Harbor. Shouting out Mount Washington.
Yeah, there
So
we
some
go.
of the students were like, shout out to Mount Washington.
Mount Washington is on the wall. I do
That's
know
right. That's right. Yeah, this is our city. What a beautiful way to remind yourself of who you get to represent and who you get to cheerlead for.
Absolutely. This is Baltimore City is my absolute favorite city. I've been to a lot of different places, but home is my favorite. And it is gorgeous. When you go other places, one of the things that you'll see is that some cities have actually taken some of the ideas that we've had here and started here, and they put them in their cities. So the Harbor Place that's right across the street, you might have seen that that's in the news soon. It's going to have a huge renovation in the next few years, few months. That very same concept is in Australia, and then it's also in Virginia.
Mhm.
In the city of
So I think that probably I didn't realize that tourism bureaus existed and that people would go out and try to sell the city. What does that mean, Mia?
Yeah, so we have a whole team dedicated to selling the city. They go and they talk to association leaders, meeting planners from actually internationally, nationally, and convince them to have their meeting here in Baltimore so they can experience all the same great things that they experience.
And are there some certain events that have either happened recently or that are happening that you'd like to shout out?
I mean, we've had fun things like the CIAA basketball tournament that happened in February. It will be back in February for the next few years. And so that's the type of thing that is good for both the teams, the city, the schools, 13 historically Black colleges and universities chose Baltimore as their site to have their national tournament, which is one of the third largest tournaments.
And didn't I hear, is there something that we landed recently? Was there a new, I feel like Mayor Scott gave some announcement about something that is going to be hosted here. Am I making that up?
I don't know, but I do know that this afternoon, they're going to start talking about festivals that are just for youth that are planned all summer long. There's fun activities for you to attend with your family. And I think that, is it the Cycle Classic? The Maryland Cycle Classic?
Yes, that's what it was. Yes.
You might have heard of like the Tour de France, where people are riding their tour bicycles all across the countryside in France. We're going to have a very similar one here, where people are going to be riding in Baltimore County and then finish here in Baltimore City. And it's going to be an awesome event that's going to take place on Labor Day.
Awesome. Yes, that's so exciting.
So do we want to take a little bit more?
Yeah, let's see. Oh, I see Arcadia. I see, that's up near where you live. Arcadia's up where you live. Yeah.
Here's where we eat lunch. So, you got to eat sometimes. Your cafeteria in your school, we have a cafeteria here. We call it the lounge. And so on our lounge, one of my favorite pictures, I have a lot of favorite pictures. Lexington Market is featured right here on this wall.
Oh, yeah. Love it. If you have been, our students that are out there, if you've been to some of these parts of the city, or if you have favorite parts of the city, feel free to throw them in the chat. So we would love to hear what your favorite parts of Baltimore are. And if you have questions for Mia, you can put them in the chat as well. She's happy to answer them.
So just a little bit more of our tour here. We have a whole floor dedicated to selling Baltimore. This is where most of our marketing, our sales team, they do a lot of their work. We have an open floor concept here. We do a lot of collaborating together. There's a meeting that's actually taking place
collaborating right now.
Of our social squad. You might see us on social media. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook, Twitter. We're not on TikTok yet because that's a lot of work. We've seen all those.
Sounds like they need a TikTok intern, students. You should make that pitch.
This is our favorite term room that has some of our favorite snacks that come specifically from Baltimore. So you might have seen the lemon stick,
burger cookies.
Burger cookies. We have the best crabs here in Baltimore. And then we actually have duck pin bowling that was invented right here in Baltimore. So a lot of the fun things.
I just went to a duck pin bowling birthday party.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, just over on Eastern.
So maybe Maggie could wave to us and just say, hey, Maggie, we're on with Baltimore City Public School students K through 8. They are getting a tour of our office. Maggie is her job is so unique. She does graphic design. She also does social media. And what am I missing anything else?
No, those are the two hot buckets, I would say. But I help a lot of the different departments and kind of make sure that everyone is on the same page too.
So when you see those great graphics, and I'm sure that you guys have lots of artists that are in the room, people that are considering, they really like being creative. You can work in hospitality and tourism and be a specialist with graphic design.
Yeah.
So lots of fun things. So that's Maggie.
Great. Awesome. Just a second.
Are there any questions for Maggie while we're here, Liam?
Oh, sorry, I cut out for a second. Somebody called me. All right, we're back. Was there any questions for Maggie? Does any of us artists out there have any questions for her?
Hi, Barbara. So David has had his hand up for a while now. David, do you want to come off mute and ask a question? Okay. You have to, yep, there you go.
Ask your question.
I like the view of the office.
He likes the office. Is that what you said?
David. We love it too, because Baltimore is so beautiful. We love being able to see it every day that we're in here.
Is there a favorite artistic project that you've worked on?
Well, I am really liking what we're doing on our social media right now. So if you guys haven't taken a look at what we have on there, definitely check it out. We have a really good balance of industry that other around the city.
but then we're also sharing all the great content we have on our website too. It's a really dynamic way. So you gotta check us out on Instagram. That is one of our favorite platforms, and I love for all of our users on there. So we love to see you there.
That is so great.
Awesome.
That is
Thank
awesome.
you.
So the one thing we ask you to do, every time you hear something negative about your city, take a look at Visit Baltimore's Instagram, push that out for us because we got a lot of positivity to sell. And it's so thanks, Maggie.
Thank you so much.
And Barbara, we have a few questions in the chat. So Kadena wants to know, what's the starting salary to work at Visit Baltimore? Uh-oh, we're breaking up, Barbara.
We are?
Okay, I think we can hear you now.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me?
We good? Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Okay, great. We're back, Mia.
There we go. So that's a great question. I'm not in HR. We have lots of different positions. So it depends on what position you have. But here's a pro tip. If you are interested in any job and you reach out to the Director of Human Resources, or in our case, it's the Director of People and Culture, ask them what the salary range is for the position that you're interested in. They'll let you know.
Great advice. And one more question that we have from Kadena. She wants to know, how many people work in your office?
Yeah, so there are about 45 of us here.
What's this right here? This looks wonderful.
This is our Made in Baltimore wall. So this is where we actually have brands that you can get only here in Baltimore. Some of them might be famous to you, like the White Tea Company. We have some fun things. Definitely not everything that's made here, but a lot of things that we're able to showcase and to share to show all of the talent that is here in Baltimore.
Very cool.
And Barbara, we're going to be transitioning to our next session, but I do have one wrap-up question. What can we look forward to this spring in Baltimore? What are some upcoming events or things that we should be looking out for?
So what I encourage everyone to do is go to baltimore.org. That's where you can see everything that's coming up for the weekend, everything that's coming up for the spring. You know, next weekend we have the Preakness coming. We have festivals that are going to be taking place this whole entire summer. And so take a look at our website, and that's where you can see all the fun things that are coming. Large events, small events. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And guys, if you have any more questions for Visit Baltimore, let's leave it in the chat and then we'll come back around to it towards the end. All right, guys. Thank you so much for that session. That was awesome. I learned so much. If you learned something new, leave it in the chat. Let us know what you learned from that or something that you found really exciting. So our next session, we are going to one of our high schools. We're going to go to Forest Park High School. So excited to visit their culinary program there. And Albert from our work-based learning team is going to give us a showcase of what you can actually experience in one of our CTE programs that focuses in on the culinary and hospitality industry. And I hope that they're cooking because I know Forest Park has some amazing food. So Albert, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Kyla. Good morning, everyone. So they just told me there's about to be a quick fire drill. So maybe we can take a couple more questions at Visit Baltimore, and then we can come back to Forest Park if that's possible.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. All right. You know, everybody knows at school we have surprise fire drills, and this is just one of those moments that we are going to have one. So if anybody has any other questions about Fogo de Chão, because we learned that that's how we say that correctly, or working in hospitality or working in culinary, or just things and opportunities around the city with Visit Baltimore, leave it in the chat or raise your hand and we will try to answer some questions. So the first hand that I saw was Edwin. So Edwin, if you want to come off of mute, you can ask your question.
Do a lot of people visit there?
The office at Visit Baltimore. So I don't work at Visit Baltimore, but I think that's pretty much where they do their work, and that's where they kind of prep for the things happening around the city. So they probably don't see a lot of visitors, but if your school or your teacher or your principal is interested in actually, scheduling a visit for you guys to go and see, I think we can make that happen. So if you would like to visit Baltimore's office, let your teacher know, and they can reach out to our work-based learning specialist to schedule a tour. That work? Sound good? All right. Okay. So the next hand that I see is Kevin. Kevin, do you want to come off mute and ask your question? All right, sweetie. There you go. What's your question, Kevin? We can't hear you. Sorry. I don't know if your headphones are connected. I think we're gonna still give Kevin a little more time to see if we can get his audio to work. Okay, Kevin, you want to give it another try? Okay. I still can't hear you. Okay, Kevin, let's come back to you. If we can't hear you when I come back to you, can you ask your teacher to help you write it in the chat? And we'll answer your question. Okay. All right. So the next hand I see is Jamari. Did I say that right, Jamari?
Yes.
Awesome. Jamari, what's your question?
How much people actually go to that town?
Go to the town, to our city? We have we have a lot of people that visit Baltimore City.
Can you tell me how much?
I don't know the exact number, but what we can do is we can ask visit.
I like the military.
Huh?
I like the military.
You like the military? Okay, that's good. So maybe one of our next career days, we can visit one of our schools that has junior ROTC that explores military opportunities.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you, Jamari, for your question. And Kevin, I'm sorry that we couldn't hear you, but I see that you said that you like to cook, which is awesome. If you love to cook, we have a lot of culinary programs around the district. And up next, we're going to see Forest Park, because Forest Park has a culinary program there. So if any of you guys like to cook and you're thinking about, what high school should I be going to after middle school? Think about the schools, or you can actually go to the Baltimore City Public Schools website and see all the schools that have culinary programs. So if you love to bake, if you love to make pizza, if you love to make spaghetti, whatever you like to cook, if you want to do that, you can do that during your high school career and your time there. Okay. Kazia, you have another question for me, sweetie?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. What's your question?
I would like to ask what kind of art do they do inside of, do they do digital art inside of the building?
That's a very good question. So at Visit Baltimore, when we talk to the young lady who actually does their design work and their social media work. So when you guys go on social media, on Instagram or Facebook, like you might see a flyer, or you might see a quick video of something, and those individuals have the amazing job to create that. And if you love digital design, or love creating, or love making memes, or even video characters and things like that, we have IMP programs, which is interactive media production programs in the district. So when you get ready to go to high school, you can actually do that. You can actually spend your time creating designs for someone like for Visit Baltimore. And we have Mia who's on the line. So Mia, if you wanted to chime in a little bit and share a little bit more about like what you guys create and how you create to share about the marketing opportunities and the things that are happening in the city, we would love your insight.
Absolutely. So here is our most recent visitor guide. It has the lemon sticks on it. You might have seen those lemon sticks in the other room. This is a treat that's like really unique to Baltimore. And you met Maggie on the tour, and Maggie works in the marketing department. So in this marketing department, we have people who do graphic designs, people who are content creators, people who actually write stories about Baltimore, highlighting a lot of the special things that our artists are doing, our small businesses are doing, many of our hotels are doing, and making sure that they feel and they have the exposure that they need to show how great our city is.
And Miss Mia, where can we grab one of those magazines?
So I can actually send some out to you. If you wanted to go to your classroom, I can send it to the classroom. You can also request one on our website. So you can always send people to our website, which is baltimore.org. I keep saying that because that is where you're going to find all the coolest events that we have. That event calendar is populated by what people submit to us. So we don't know everything. We depend on people just like you, making sure that you share all the hottest, latest things with us so that we can share it with everybody and share it with the world.
That's really good. Thank you so much. So guys, you can have a free Visit Baltimore magazine sent to you. So make sure you go to the website, and that way you can have a magazine sent to you, or we can arrange it where we can have some sent to the school. So if
I'm seeing Catherine Johnson Global Academy, I just need the address.
Perfect. Okay, guys. So we're going to wait for Albert to let us know when we get the green light to visit Forest Park, but keep the questions coming. You guys have some amazing questions, and I see a few hands. So let's see, where are we with our hands? Okay, Jeremiah, do you want to come off mute and ask your question?
Just like blow it out. How much money do you make there?
Jeremiah, so that's a good question. And Ms. Mia gave us a little bit of insight. So there are different positions at Visit Baltimore, different positions at Fogo de Chao. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And different positions just within our hospitality industry. So whenever you're interested in a position, when you reach out to the Human Resources Office, they give you a salary range depending on what kind of position you would like to pursue. But I think for you guys, as you're thinking about your career opportunities and where you want to go next, really think about what you're passionate about, because truthfully, you can make the money that you desire in a lot of these areas. It's just really about focusing in on what now gives you passion, gives you joy, things that excite you. So then that way you can decide which lane you want to pursue. So if you're interested in art and media, you can definitely pursue a career.
That's really cool.
It is. It's really, really cool. And even if you love to cook, you have an opportunity to make a living wage within the culinary industry. So from being a cook to actually hosting or even managing or actually creating your own business one day, those are all opportunities that you guys have. Okay, so I have a new hand here. Darian, what is your question?
My question is, do they have fun?
Do they have fun? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, because I've seen some of these places. I've seen the amazing things that they do. But Ms. Mia, you're still on the line. Do you want to talk about the fun that you guys have in the office?
I have a lot of fun in my office. You saw, to be able to go out on a patio and look all across the city. Now that might not seem like fun to you, but it is definitely fun to me to be able to maybe eat my lunch outside on that patio while looking out over the city. It's also fun to be able to do things like this and talk to you all. I get a lot of joy out of that.
So true. And thank you, Miss Mia, for chiming in. And
Miss Carla,
yes, ma'am.
I wanted to chime in. Miss Mia, last week you want to talk about the Baltimore CTE food and beverage and baking contest that we had for students at the high schools, like at Forest Park.
Absolutely.
How awesome that was for our high school students who are in the food, beverage, and baking pathways.
It was so much fun. So we had the opportunity to have the first ever culinary competition for 5 high schools. So it was Forest Park, Edmondson Westside High School, Mervo, NAF was there. I'm leaving some school. Carver was there. I can't believe I was about to leave out Carver. And I probably left something else out, but we had the opportunity to actually tour the behind the scenes of the Hyatt Regency Baltimore Inner Harbor Hotel. They were our hosts for the day. They had us come in, they showed us the back of house. They showed us, the executive chef allowed us to cook in his kitchen and do that competition there. And then they gave us a few snacks. And we had the opportunity to hear from people in the industry to tell us about their pathway into this career. And it was just a whole lot of fun.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Miss Mia. Miss Carla, I think we're ready to see Forest Park, one of the schools that participated in the competition.
Awesome. And I'm sorry, we have one more question because she has been raising her hand this entire time and it is so high, so high. Hi, Ryan, am I saying your name right?
Yes.
Awesome. Ryan, what is your question?
How many people works at the place?
Which place, at Visit Baltimore?
Yes.
Okay, so Miss Mia, do you want to tell us again how many people work with you?
Yep, we have about 45 people who work here. Some of them work remotely, so they have their home offices. Some of them work here in this office at 400 East Pratt Street. And so a mix of people.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was a great question, Ryan. And thank you, Miss Mia, for just holding on in there with us and the amazing things that are going around the city. And now I am excited to share with you guys what is happening at Forest Park. Now, Forest Park is one of my favorite schools to visit. There's always something smelling good in the hallways. And Albert is going to take us on a tour. Albert, take it away.
Thank you so much, Kyla. And thank you all for your patience. We had to improvise because we thought it was a fire drill about to happen, but it got canceled. So we're happy to have you all with us this morning at Forest Park High School. We're going to be talking with the students. We're going to be checking out some of that good food that Kyla was just talking about. But thank you all for joining us. And if you can, if it's possible, I know we are running behind on time, but if you can stay a little bit after 10 a.m. just to make sure that you see this, that would be great. But if not, we are recording, so don't worry if you have to run. All right, so I'm going to flip it around to our students. They're going to introduce themselves, and they're going to show you what they're preparing today. All right.
My name is Amira Jacobs. Good morning. My name is Amira Jacobs.
Good morning. I am Isaiah Stevens. We both go to Forest Park High School. We are
11th graders.
And today, we're making poutine. It was originated in Canada. It involves potatoes, and we add gravy and cheese curds on top. Okay, so first we're going to start with our seasonings, and we're going to chop up some rosemary and some garlics. Our fries are ready. So
fries already, so you can get that nice crust that you will love on the outside of your fall, on the outside of the fries. You also get a nice meaty potato on the inside.
Excellent. I love that with my fries as well. So what's this right here that you're chopping up?
I'm mixing the fries.
Okay. So this is how you get your garlic mince on. Take note of the knife skills. Excellent. And can you say the name of the dish one more time?
Poutine.
Poutine?
Poutine.
Poutine. Okay. Thank you. Excellent. So we're chopping up our garlic. What's going on with this pot right here?
This is the pot we made our root in. Our delicious root.
Okay.
So we're gonna start off with a little bit of bacon grease.
What's a roux? For people who might not know what that is.
Our roux is it's basically the flour. Cooked flour with a little bit of butter. You can use roux for a lot of things. I like
It's
to
the
use my
starter for a flour. So we just add our bacon grease and our flour. We let the flour cook for a little bit.
You can also use a roux for like gravy and things like that.
Gravies, okay. So if you're making a gravy, make sure you get your roux right. That's what they're learning over here at Forest Park High School. As y'all are cooking, what made y'all get into this this program?
It's been something that I've loved since I was a little boy. I'm a
Okay.
big guy, so I don't wait for nobody to cook for myself.
That's all right.
I got into this program because I love cooking and it also involves my future, which I want to be a personal private and catering chef.
Okay.
Or maybe one day sit it aside and start my own restaurant.
Got it. So you're interested in starting your own restaurant, being an entrepreneur. That's excellent. That's excellent.
Also, cooking teaches you a lot of things, like how to improvise,
Mhm.
but keep going.
Yep, you bounce right back. No problem.
I feel like cooking is a thing that everybody should learn. It's a thing that we need to walk through life. We need to eat, and it's also a thing that a lot of people can get into if you don't have any other options. Because no matter what, people are gonna want to talk. They're gonna want to eat.
Absolutely. So I know you mentioned that after high school, you want to open up your own restaurant. Are you going to continue with this field after high school as well?
It depends. I really would like to go to college for art. That's my first love. But if not, of course, I would love to. Because I feel like it had so many great opportunities. We just went on a trip to downtown and we went to a hotel which they showed us amazing things. I really love how you had the kitchen set up. It was a nice setting. It was really nice. I really think that, you know, in certain areas, it should take you a long ways rather than getting a regular 9 to 5 and a promotion and thing. Rather than go to school, you know, and try to make the best out of yourself.
Absolutely. And y'all did an amazing job down at that event as well. We appreciate y'all for participating. So you're heating up the oil?
Yeah, I'm trying to cook the flour down.
Okay, cooking down the flour. Got it.
I'm gonna need a little bit more flour. But once you have to cook flour down, because flour is technically not allowed, but it has a certain taste to it. It has a certain taste to it, and you don't want that taste in your liver. You want your liver to be a nice, creamy, a nice dark.
Got it.
Finally, of course.
I love it. And what are you chopping up now?
Rosemary, and this is just a few natural seasonings that we're going to use.
Got it. I love the teamwork. I know in kitchens, it's always multiple people doing different things. That's so important.
It's kind of hard. I had to learn that first because usually I'm just so well on being my own in the kitchen, by myself. So when I had people moving around me, it kind of stirred me up for the first time when I was first doing this my sophomore year. Because, you know, COVID had hit, like we had our fourth quarter in. We had to be able to come back. So for us to just work with each other, it was kind of hard for me. But I've always been cooking by myself my whole life. So being in the kitchen has definitely taught me how to move around people and communicate better.
Got it. Thank you for that. And students, as y'all are watching this, if y'all have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll make sure our Forest Park students get those questions.
Albert, I'm in amazement. I think the one thing that just struck me is that oftentimes we think about our passion and then you realize like the amount of work you have to do to prepare for a career in that passion. So talking about like how to work in the kitchen, I think is really, really important. So I'm wondering if the students can kind of help us learn a little bit more about like what it took to actually learn how to actually work in a kitchen and the things and the lessons that they had to prepare for to be at the level that they're at now.
That's a great question, Kyla. Thank you so much for that. So the question was, how did you, I know you started, you said you mentioned you started off young cooking and things like that. But what made you continue to build upon that passion now that you're in high school? Like what makes you get up every day? Like, you know what, I can't wait to come to school and be a part of this program.
I see my future a lot. Like I want, like this is something people tell me that my cooking is good, and it really do boost my confidence. So I'm like, wow, like maybe I can take this to another level, and please everybody, because food makes you happy, and if you changes your mood, I believe that. So I think this is a really cool path that I picked up, and you learn a lot of cool things about it, a lot of cool things, and at this rate I'm going, I think I can be somebody great in the future. So
absolutely. Yes, and you already are somebody great. And give me your name one more time.
Amira Jacobs.
Amira Jacobs. I met Amira at the cooking event that they described that they participated in last week. And Amira had her business card. She was ready. She was networking. And I love that passion that you have for what you do. So great job with that. So what's going on in the pot now?
Okay, so sometimes I like to let the gravy sit, and we just letting the gravy cook so it can get to a dark color before we start adding our seasoning.
Okay. All right, so we're letting our gravy sit for a moment. We're letting the roux sit. Just checking the chat to see if we have any other questions. I see a lot of people in amazement. I see a lot of wows. Excellent.
And Albert, I know that we have
what was that, Kyla?
I was gonna say, I know we had a question from Sarah. She had her hand up a while ago. Sarah, if you wanted to leave your question in the chat or come off mute, you can, but I'll turn it back over to you, Albert.
Okay, yeah, if you got a question, just let me know. What were you about to say?
Right now, we're going to drop in a second when we get our food right.
Okay, so we got French fries on the way. Wow, I gotta get me one of these. It's nice. All right, can you just take me through these different ingredients that we have right here in front of us?
You have cream, you have the flour, you have the garlic, the rosemary, you have pepper, you have salt, kosher salt.
Okay.
Everybody needs a table salt.
All right, kosher salt.
Pearls, and you have the we also got the chicken. You want to add the chicken?
We got chicken as well. And I saw them ripping this chicken apart. So this didn't come like this. They put the work in to be able to separate it like this. All right. So we're still cooking our roux down. Let's take a look inside the pot.
I have a question.
Okay.
How long does it take to prep for this meal? And then how long does it take to cook this meal?
Great question. Do y'all hear those questions?
It's not long at all, actually. And we chop out and dice stuff. But everything just comes as it is. Chicken you have to prepare takes about 3 minutes. And as far as cooking.
So to answer your question, prepping would take at least 10 to 15 minutes. To cook this whole dish, I would say it take about 30 minutes because with about fries, it's a 2-step.
Okay.
And you have to let our wood cook for a little bit. And then get to a color brown like this. As you can see.
Okay. It's a nice brown.
Yep. So now will be the time to start and start adding some chicken broth into it because we really got the color that we're looking for the gravy. So we're going to turn that iron down low.
Thank you.
Have your chicken stock.
Okay, this is chicken stock. How much chicken stock is this? This is a lot.
3/4. Well, we're not going to use the whole chicken.
Okay.
We're going to measure it out.
Okay.
Measure mine out just to be a little bit more precise.
Yes. Can you tell students, maybe our younger students, what would happen if you didn't measure it out? What would you just put in the amount that you wanted to
We
put?
always say it's better to put less than more.
Okay.
So, to answer your question, so everything has to be even, especially with the flour and the roux, because if you put incorrect measurements, then something could go wrong. Like the flour could be too lumpy.
Got it.
It's not enough oil, and things go wrong.
Okay. Ooh, look at that smoke. The beautiful roux that's being made.
That roux looks amazing. And let me tell you, my roux is either really light or almost scorched. So y'all are doing phenomenal right now.
Kylie, you gotta come get some tips from the pros.
I know.
There's a lot of whisking going on.
So everything is mixed, because if you don't mix it in well, then it could be lumps. Everything.
All right, so we're putting in some more chicken stock so that it's not so thick.
And Albert, I know we're a little bit over time. So just wanted to ask the cooks in the kitchen. So after this step, what would you guys do? Walk us through what our final product would look like.
So after we make the gravy, we will continue for our second part, cook the fries. After the fries come out, we season them with our salt and peppers, and then we put the gravy and the cheese curd on top, and the heat from the fries and the gravy will melt the cheese.
Wow.
It's a nice party meal. Because, you know, they originates from Canada, and it's very cold up there. Very, very cold. So you want to eat something nice, hot, probably a little faster than portraits and things of that sort to get you nice and filled up.
And we have a question in the chat from Shamara. What is the difference between roux and gravy?
You need a roux to make a gravy. You can't have a gravy to make a roux. The roux is like the beginning, starting point of the gravy.
Got it. So that's how you begin, but you got to start your roux before the gravy. Got it.
And I have a question for all of our students that are watching. Who actually likes gravy? Who actually waits for Thanksgiving to put gravy on their turkey? Who is a gravy fan? Put in the chat if you love your gravy.
And we are adding chicken to the roux now.
Ooh.
Minutes, once we let this simmer, we're going to taste test, see if everything is to our liking, or what do we need.
Let's see the turn on to one time.
Well, that's what happened for Friday night.
Teamwork. All right.
That looks really good.
What are you about to put in next?
Kosher salt.
Okay, kosher salt. And some pepper.
We also have our garlic and our rosemary that we're going to add too.
Yes.
Give it some extra flavor.
And can you explain why you're still whisking it? What's the importance of that?
To mix everything together so all the things can come out.
Nice and combined. Great.
And no lumps. Flour likes to lump up.
No
so you
lumps.
gotta make sure it curls what you want it to do. So by whisking it, you make sure it does not lump up at all.
Got it.
It's up really fast, so we have to keep the same consistency.
Hashtag no lumps. Keep it nice and consistent. That looks beautiful. So what's going to be, is anything else going to be added to this?
First, we will have to see
Okay.
if we need to add more seasoning. Less
Okay.
cream.
So this is this heavy cream or? Okay, yes, okay. All right, so we got our cream in there mixing up.
Turns to a nice brown
Yes.
flavor.
Get that.
That looks beautiful. So are we gonna pour this on top of our fries? Is that the goal?
Yes. After our fries come out the grease, we sit them down and we season them. It's important not to season them before they go in, because some dishes, like if you season too early, it will be salty. So we wait until our fries come out and then we season it, so the flavor can also stick onto it.
Got it. Got it. These fries are going to be hearty.
Yeah, I feel like this is like the perfect leftover mix, right? Like after a Thanksgiving, when you have like turkey and gravy and you want a fresh kind of meal, this would be my go-to now. I never thought to shred my meat and put it in gravy and throw it over some fries. Like mind blowing.
And they're using chicken, so you know maybe it'll taste just as good with turkey.
Oh my goodness, chicken, leftover chicken for the week. You guys are giving me meal plan ideas. I love this.
Excellent. All right, the fries look like they are getting ready.
So now we're going to taste test and see what we need, what is liking.
Right. Here comes the taste test. I want y'all to imagine that y'all are tasting it along with them. How is it?
It's good, actually. It's great.
Great.
Almost done.
Okay, fries almost done.
And Albert, I'll be honest, I feel like I'm watching the Cooking Network right now.
Right.
It's
the
all I
Forrest
need is,
Park edition.
it really is. All I need is a recipe.
We'll see if we can get that for you, Kyla. Right. The fries are still cooking.
So as we're waiting for the fries, wanted to kind of share with you guys the difference between like a culinary and a baking class. So of course, both of them, you're cooking, you're creating amazing food. But with baking, it's really, really important to zoom in on measurements, right? You have to focus in on measuring properly, because unlike how she just tasted her food, with baking, you don't get a chance to taste it until it's done. So it's really important to really focus in on measuring properly. But of course, cooking, it's all about the soul. It's all about following your heart. So of course, you can make a little mistake and add a little bit more seasoning here and there. But if you guys love cooking, it's really important to pay attention to math and your math class, because you're going to need measurements. You're going to need to make sure that you're getting things done properly in the ratios. So even though you might say, I don't like math, but I love to cook, you still need your math class. All right, we got some hot fries.
Look at those fries. Golden brown.
Now we're just gonna add some pepper.
All right. Let's get those fries nice and seasoned. Loving it. They smell amazing. I wish y'all can smell it through the screen. One day they'll come up with that technology.
Do they have drive-through? Can I stop by?
We'll have to see. We can set that up. All right. Okay, so yep, go for it. So the fries are going in. Nice and seasoned. You said it's a ladle? Okay. Got it. So gravy. Yes, I'm used to saying that for different soups and big pots. Okay, so we're getting the fries ready. Right, let's get the close up of this.
Oh my goodness, that looks so good, guys.
Yes, this looks amazing.
Cheese curds in there, so they will melt.
Okay, so we have cheese curds. So they're gonna melt it as it's warming up.
I never would have thought to do that either. Getting the gravy to melt the cheese. You guys are genius.
No microwave needed.
No microwave needed. And Albert, what is the name of this dish again?
I'll have to ask them again because I keep mispronouncing it. What's it called again? Poutine.
Poutine. So this is a dish from Canada, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Awesome. So in our culinary programs, you're not just going to be exploring what is, things that you guys love to cook, but finding new things that you probably never thought to cook. Like I never would have thought to put this combination together. So this is awesome.
Yep. It smells amazing.
Thank you guys for having us today. I hope you guys enjoyed our recipe, small talk on this dish.
I hope you guys cook at home. You guys can inspire to cook this at home. It's very delicious.
Great.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much. I want to say it's 10:16, but Sarah put in the chat that you're already making her hungry and you're already making me hungry. So I hope you guys are ready for lunch. And Albert, I hope you're saving me a plate because I will be happy to stop by Forest Park. But all right, guys, you guys have any last minute questions for our chefs at Forest Park? Let's see if I can see hands. Okay.
I getting a ton of compliments in the chat.
Okay, Kevin, you have your hand up. Do you want to come off mute and ask your question? Is your mic working? It looks yummy. It really does. And Shamara had definitely mentioned, like, yes, you need math and you need science. So even if you enjoy cooking, you still need your math and your science. So true.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap this up. And for all of our teachers who are joining, if you need more information about any of these programs, or if you would like for us to align opportunities for your students to see any of these opportunities firsthand, please, please, please reach out to our work-based learning team. We would love to align something for you in the coming school year. But to all of our students, remember, we have programming here in city schools for you guys to explore career opportunities similar to this. So as you guys are preparing for high school and you're looking for the best place for you to go, if you love cooking, if you love hospitality, if you want to explore what's happening with places like Visit Baltimore, or if you love baking, make sure you check out our pathways and align yourself with a school that can give you time and space to actually explore that career before you even graduate from high school. And the same goes for IMP. A lot of you guys expressed interest in graphic design and things of that nature, and we have programming for that too. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I am super, super excited that we had a chance to explore and learn together. I learned so much today, and I hope that you did too. And I am going to say that we are done off of this fabulous event. We explored 3 places, and hopefully you guys are able to share with your classmates some of the amazing things that you guys saw today. All right, it's not Friday, but have a great weekend anyway, because we probably won't see you tomorrow. All right, guys, see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.